Need a relay panel? I do, guys. So let's build one on the cheap. Welcome back to Bad Luck Garage, guys. Today we're finally going to build the relay panel for our C5 Corvette project. And you might be asking yourself, what do I need a relay panel for? Well, you don't just need a relay panel for a race car, guys. Anytime you're planning on running a lot of different accessories that draw a lot of different load or draw load from for a lot of different things, you're going to want to use relays. Now, yes, you could just run like I showed in the NITROUS installation videos. You could just run a separate relay and a separate inline fuse for everything, but a switch panel is a way to kind of organize everything, and it just kind of makes it easier if you're having to add or take items away. It makes it easier to kind of know where everything's hooked up, what you're doing with everything. So before I start, I do want to say everything you see here, I will put links in the description for these products. And guys, they're pretty cheap. Okay, I got 5 of these for I think $7. So I'll have, or 6 of these actually, so I've got 5 more if I ever want to build another one of these. Our fuse block here, a lot of people, they will use a separate lug for their grounds and for their positives, and then have a fuse block. This fuse block here incorporates everything into one block. You've got all your grounds go here, all your positives go here. It comes with fuses, which some of these fuses we'll use, some of them we probably won't, but it comes with fuses for all of these. It actually comes with extras as well. So basically all you have to do with this fuse block is connect your hot from your battery to this one, connect your ground here, and then all your relay hots can come out of here and all your relay grounds can go into there. So it kind of makes everything a little more compact. It also comes with this nice cover here. If you have a label maker, you can make labels to label all your fuses there. And then we have our relays. Now, the link I'm putting in the description is not for these relays. The link I'm putting in the description is for a relay with a 12-inch lead. These only have a 6-inch lead. I have actually been ordering relays from this particular company for years, and they have always come with a 12-inch lead. But for some reason, when I ordered this set of relays, they were only 6-inch leads, and when I contacted the company, the guy was a complete jerk about it. So yeah, I will not be providing a link to that company. What I will do is I will get on eBay and I will find a link for some that actually state a 12-inch lead. The reason you want a 12-inch lead is because sometimes, depending on how you orient your relay panel, it may be necessary to have a little more length on the wires to reach where they need to go. I may run into a problem here. If I do, I'm going to have to lengthen the wires. But I have actually adjusted the way I was originally going to set this relay up to deal with that. So the first thing you want to do is kind of measure and find out how much space you're working with. Now, you can put a relay panel anywhere, guys. You can put a relay panel in your glove box, under the hood. If you're working with a race car, you may just want to build a relay panel against your sheet metal dash or whatever. In my case, I'm working on this 2002 Corvette or Chinavette project, and I want to build a relay panel to go in here on top of the battery. So the first thing I had to do was I had to measure. I'm going to go ahead and draw that out now and make a paper template to make sure it's going to fit the way I want. As you can see pretty clearly, there is a reason we make a paper template first, and that is so that we can account for awkward angles, things like that. So what I did is I took my basic measurements. I cut a piece of poster board here out. I laid it in here. I kind of trimmed to fit everywhere, and so this is basically what the shape of our relay panel is going to look like, guys. It's going to sit right here on top of the battery. this is the shape I ended up with. So it's going to sit right in here, and now we just need to kind of figure out how we're going to organize our relays and fuses, etc. Make this out of anything, guys. You can make it out of plastic, like one of those big storage containers. I'm actually thinking about using a lid because I've got several I'm not using, and just cutting this out of the lid. That would be easy. That way I could cut it with sheet metal shears, and that brings me to sheet metal. You can make this out of sheet metal, but I would really recommend making it out of something that was non-conductive. Plastic. Some people will make it out of plexiglass, something like that. But anyway, we need to figure out how we're going to organize this. Now, this is the engine side. This is the side closest to the fender. Our hot post is over here for our battery. So we kind of want to put the fuse block somewhere in this general area, just to make it easy to to hook up our positive. I'm thinking something like this right here, guys. Should be nice. Or the only problem with this is I think this whole part right here is going to be under the cowl, so that would make it really hard to get to these. So I think our original configuration that we had is going to be best. I think that's good. Now we just need to find something to trace our template out on, and cut out our actual material that we're going to use. Now, I actually have some thicker plastic here, but I do not currently have access to a bandsaw. So what I have decided to use is, like I said earlier, a storage container lid. You can get these storage containers at Walmart for like $5, guys. And, even though it won't have a lid anymore, you could still use it to clean parts or whatever in. So anyway, what I have done is I have traced my template out onto the plastic, and now I'm just going to cut it out with some tin snips. I ended up using a pair of Harbor Freight heavy-duty scissors, if you want to call them that, utility scissors, whatever. I will say my carpal tunnel in my right hand did not like that one bit, but we got it done. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start drilling holes, and again, Harbor Freight. I've just got these screws I'm going to put in for now, and then I've got some longer screws that this came with, so I'll use those to mount it, and I'll use these shorter screws here to mount my relays. And then like I said, guys, if I redo this in the future with a little bit thicker plastic, then at that point I'll probably just use short nuts and bolts, but we'll just see how this works out. It might be permanent. Now, before we actually screw these down, one important thing to note though, these actually have 5 wires coming out of them. We don't need all of them, okay? The middle wire in every one of these relays needs to be pulled out. Now, that's easy enough to do. Just take a precision screwdriver. You'll see a little notch here for the middle prong. Shove your screwdriver in there to release the tab, and you just pull them out. You need to do that on every single relay. Just get rid of that middle wire. You are not going to need it. Now that you've got that center wire out of each of these, we can go ahead and screw everything down to our relay panel. Okay guys, we have everything attached to our relay panel here. So now it comes the fun part, the wiring part. And this is actually the whole reason we're building this panel, to make this easier. So I'm not gonna try to, use pin 87, pin 86, pin 30. I'm not gonna try to do all that. I'm gonna make this nice and simple for you guys, okay? So here is the most simple way I can tell you to do this. All right. You want to take your white wire and your yellow wire on every one of these. Now, in case you don't know, with the relay fastened down, that's going to be your top middle wire and the wire just to the left of it. Okay. Just in case you're working with relays that have different colors. So these two wires, you can see that right there. I want you to bend those straight up on every relay just to get them out of your way. Now, once you've got those all bent back out of your way, what you're left with is your blue and your black. Now, the blue wire is going to be the middle wire on the bottom, and the black wire is going to be the wire on the right-hand side of each relay, you know, if you're looking at it from the bottom here. All right, so here's the deal. All of these are going to go this way. The black and the blue are going to go this way. Your black is your ground. Your blue goes to your battery. So your blue wires are going to go to each of these screws, and all your black wires are going to go to these ground screws. Okay, so those are all going to go that way. Now, your white wires are all going to be for your switch. Okay, that's the switch that's going to activate this relay. So the yellow wires are all going to be going to the accessory. Okay, so all of these wires are going to go this way, and we're going to wire them into these posts. Now what we're going to have over here is every relay is going to have a switched wire that comes in from your switch to turn the relay on, and a yellow hot wire that comes back out of the relay to power whatever accessory it's powering. So as an example, say our NITROUS system, we're going to have this wire coming in from our power or from our wide open throttle switch. You guys are going to have to this video would seriously be 2 hours long if I have to explain how to hook all that up, but I do have a video on how to hook up a NITROUS system and a video on how to hook up a switch panel. But anyway, this is the wire from the trigger. This is your wire out to your device. So when this wire receives power, it's going to activate the relay. The blue wire is going to be attached to the battery, bringing power to the relay. So when this right here sees, when the white wire sees power, it's going to activate the relay and bridge the gap between the blue wire and the yellow wire and send power back out to whatever accessory you have it hooked to. I hope that makes sense. But basically all we're going to do right here is we're going to start the closest relay to this. We're going to use the furthest away slot. Okay, that way we're hoping that we've got enough wire to reach. So we're going to start doing this. What we're going to do is we're going to say this is relay 1, and we're going to attach a trigger wire and a power wire. Then we're going to say this is relay 2, trigger wire, power wire. Relay 3, trigger wire, power wire. I think you guys get it, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of measure this out, because every one of these we do, we're going to have to put a terminal on to go to this. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out and start cutting and crimping. So hopefully you guys can see what I did there. You know, it's not rocket science, guys. We're just pulling our grounds over. Our grounds are going to go here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run all my blue wires underneath my grounds here and come around and run them into the sides here. Now these are where the fuses go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the one that is closest, the relay that is closest to the fuse block, I'm going to take it to the farthest terminal, and then the next one will go to this terminal, and the next one will go to this. So hopefully there's enough wire to reach. It's going to be kind of iffy on this last one, but see what I can do. All right, guys, you can see what I did there. Now, I want to say this. What I said in the beginning of the video about wanting to get relays with 12-inch leads, this is why. You can see where I had to like pull everything real tight to get these two right here to reach. Ideally, you know, I like to make this look kind of neat, so I would rather have it, you know, evenly spaced coming out and come around and have some length to spare so I can make this nice and neat looking. Unfortunately, the only way I would be able to do this is to elongate these wires. I don't want to do that, but that's why I recommend in the beginning of the video, make sure you get relays that have 12-inch leads, not just 6. But we did make this work. We just had to make sure everything was really close together, which actually works out in the long run because in our application, we didn't have a lot of room under the hood anyway. So anyway, you saw how I did the grounds and you saw how I did this side. So I'm going to go ahead and get this side done off camera, and then we'll start hooking up our ins and outs. Now we're moving on to our bus bar, which will have our turn on wires, our switch wires, and then our accessory wires. So what I like to do, I'm going to do the switch wire on odd numbers. There are numbers on this bus bar on the clear cover here. So we're going to do the switch wire on the odd number, and then our accessory wire will be on the even number. Now then, let's take a little look at what we got going on. We have our completed fuse panel. And yes, you do get extra points for, you know, for style, making it nice and neat. I didn't take a whole lot of time with it, but, you know, if you're really anal retentive, you can, you know, make sure every wire does the same thing. But bottom line is, this is going to work. The only thing we really have left to do, let me pull this cover. The only thing we really have left to do is we need to run a hot wire from our battery to here. We need to run a ground from here, and what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to drill a hole right here so I can run, you know, a pretty fat, probably like a 10 gauge. 10 gauge should be about all we need, but probably run a 10 or possibly even a 12 gauge ground wire in through here and hook it to this terminal, so that'll ground everything. Then, like I said, we'll probably do a 10 or 8 gauge power wire. I'll probably cut a little recess here to run the power wire down, and we'll have power then. At that point, we just need to decide what we're going to run each of our relays for. I already pretty much know this is going to be stage 1 nitrous. This is going to be stage 2 nitrous. This is going to be my line lock. Even though you really don't need a relay for a line lock, I've got one, so why not use it, right? And then we're going to have our bottle heater, etc. And then based on the amp load of those, we will decide what fuses to use in each of these. But let's go over here and look at this in the car, see what it looks like. There we go, guys, right here above the battery of our C5. Once again, I am going to put some L brackets here to keep it, you know, from wobbling around. I will probably put an L bracket over here, underneath, of course. I may have to figure out a way to mount it over here too, but bottom line is, this is it. It's finished. All I have to do now is bring my wires up from over here and attach, trigger wire, trigger wire going in, accessory wire going out. So as an example, the switch that I have in the car will have a wire coming in right here to activate the #1 stage 1 nitrous. And then the wire right next to it will be the wire that actually goes out to the nitrous solenoids down here to activate them. So, and if I move my panel, you can see, all these bundle of wires that I have here, that's going to run in. Those are the wires that are going to be running to this. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, guys. We've got our clear cover that goes over the fuse block. We've got our clear cover that goes over this. So I went ahead and snapped that on just so you could kind of see what it looks like when everything's together there. But the wires that we have going out of here, what I'm probably going to do is I have went to the junkyard and I've got several, weatherproof connectors. And so I'll probably use those weatherproof connectors. They'll be underneath here. That way, if I need to remove this panel to access my battery or whatever, I don't have to undo every one of these screws. I will be able to just, flip this up, unplug a connector, and lift this up out of here. Easy peasy. But yeah, pretty happy with that, guys. Okay, so the relay panel is done. That's pretty much what I wanted to accomplish in this video is just showing you guys how easy it is to put together a relay panel. All the parts that I used to make this relay panel, I will put links for in the description of this video. I think I might have maybe $30 in the whole panel, give or take $5, but it was really cheap, guys. You just saw it was really easy to make. I've probably got I've been out here for 2 hours piddling with it, and that was including recording it so you guys could see how to do it. So anyway, it's a pretty easy project, guys. Great thing to have if you're planning on wiring up multiple accessories and you don't just want a big rat's nest of wires under your hood. So if you guys did enjoy this video or learn something from it, if it helped you out, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing if you want to see more. If you are subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Now get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.